I think I'm possibly alive today because of flat feet. When South Africa joined into the war, people volunteered. There was no such thing as absolute recruiting. They volunteered. I volunteered, but I was not accepted because of my flat feet. That's what I mean. And who knows what would have happened to me had I been at the war. That's why I say my disability kept me alive. Okay? Simple as that. Instead of that, I joined the civilian guard. Oh, maybe I should tell you that about the civilian guard. What was my job? Go down into the bowels of the city hall, with a room there with about a dozen or 20 phones, in case any emergency came and the phone was ringing. I would never be able to find which phone. All I know is that we took 2 shifts, and we had a narrow ledge somewhere there, and I used to sleep on top of that ledge until my term was over. And then I did some guarding. You may not remember, but we had the gasworks down at near the docks, the gasworks. And I stand guard there with a rifle. I've never used a rifle in my life. And one night, the alarm goes off. And now I'm standing there with this rifle, and inside the building there's a light. Should I or should not try and shoot the light, close the light? And then it stopped. And I said I'll never be able to aim and get the light. My career in the tax world, apart from all my writings and so on, but the advice that I gave and my opinions, I was doing what I would call providing a hechsher. You know what a hechsher is? What was it? These people came to me with big schemes involving often millions of rands, and that they wanted to know, and they were selling the scheme. They were people who were able to organise finance all the time. And they made a profit on it, of course, but they had to sell it. And they needed someone to say the scheme is okay or not. And sometimes you had to tweak it a little bit this way, that way, to get it right. And that's what was my function, that I would say that's okay or it's not okay. I put them straight. I didn't initiate any schemes. I wouldn't know because it's dealing with finance. And I don't know what you can do in the financial world. They come to me, what they can do, what they would like to do, and I would say yes or no. And then often I worked on a system. I gave them a draft. I said, now you tell me if you're satisfied with this draft. I did it on the basis that I don't mind changing it to help you the sale, but I won't change my opinion. I'm stubborn, you see. I won't change my opinion, but I'll make it easier for you to sell as long as it doesn't affect my opinion. And so we take out the word here and they put another word in there. And that's how I worked. I was able to charge any fee I liked, but I just couldn't do it. I charged a moderate fee. I once had my fee questioned. It was a small matter many years ago, and the attorney came to me and said, look, at my client said, I was charged, I think it was something like 9 or 10 guineas. I mean, he says, my client says it's too much, he wants to give you, he wants half. I said, how come you come and ask me that? He says, well, the client says he was your father's partner. He would like it. I asked her, the chutzpah. Oh, it says, if you think it's too much, take it for nothing. A chap comes to me. His uncle had an insurance company, and his uncle offered to him for 500,000 rand, but if he could sell it to one of the big companies for R1 million, he's liable for tax. See? Then he comes to me with that. So I said, yes, I think you are. Yes, you're liable. You're buying and selling. You're liable. That's income. It's liable for income tax. But I said, I'll tell you what. If I can tell you how, if I work out the scheme where you don't have to pay, and the tax within was, by the way, something like 60 or 72% of the profit. If I can work out that scheme, will it give me 50,000 rand? Me, the attorney and myself, 50,000 rand. He looks at me and he looks at me. I say to him, I don't understand you. Yeah, you're going to pay 72%. I can save you that 72%, and you are going to pay the chap on the golf course who said to you, why don't you visit Meyerowitz? You're going to pay him 50,000 rand or more. He said, yeah, I came to consult you. I said, don't worry, I just wanted to test you out to see your reaction. There's no such thing that I know, nothing that I can think of that's going to save you tax. There's odd people isn't like that. I've got the best tax advice which I won't give, and that is don't earn, then you don't pay tax. People cheat with the tax. They cheat in pennies, small amount. They take money out the till and so on. My advice to them, as far as that is concerned, never do it unless you know, when someone else knows what you're doing. You loan yourself into blackmail. How come? Your employee, you can never get rid of your employee. You try and do that, and he goes to the revenue, and he splits on you. I had a case like that. Yeah, and it cost him a lot of money in the process. Not me. It costs money from pay the tax and the penalties.